This time I will be trying a new video format. Instead of a painted review, I will be sharing with you guys about things worth mentioning that happened in the process of doing this build. Talk about all my thought processes, teaching you about some techniques or tricks, and showing you my mistakes so you won't be making them. Let's begin. Just after finishing building this kit, I was thinking about the color schemes. Found the Snow White Prelude Wing Gundam as a color separation reference. The problem I had with this color scheme is it looks way too plain. This problem is especially prominent when you look at the wings, giant chunks of white with some decals here and there. Well, it is the same wings as the OG color scheme, but when the body is already mostly white wings just don't work out for me. So I thought about doing something that will complement the shape of the wings, maybe a white to gold gradient. That would be nice, but then I saw someone else's build with red and gold color and immediately fell in love with it. I wasn't sure about painting it at first. A lot of my friends do like gold white more and think the red is way too much. But my friend Justin says white been done to death. Yeah, I thought for a second, that's very true. I have seen at least 2-digit number of white and gold wings in all sorts of custom builds. Just as I was building that PG Unleashed, I saw 3 builds with white gold wings, so I painted mine red and gold. Doing gradient color here is quite simple. Just paint the gold the usual way. Gloss black base coat, pump up that pressure to paint the gold, then using clear red to do the gradient. The method to do a smooth transition between the two colors is straightforward. First, hold your airbrush a bit further away from the part, give it a couple of quick swipes, then get your airbrush closer and make it target more towards the tip of that gradient. Also a few swipes. Just repeat this process and you will have a smooth gradient. Never try to spray it on with only one layer of coat. Doing multiple thin layers is the right way. Cause clear paint, well, it's clear. If you can't see any paint with your first swipe, then do another one, and another one, and another one. Just keep going. But I gotta say, this is not something you can achieve perfection in the first few tries, so do some practice. I only want my red on the tips of the feathers, so I have to do quite a lot of masking with these feathers molded inside of the wing. Every red gradient is not at the end of a part, I masked them, so a ton of masking. This Snow White Prelude reference is from the Fixed figure line. They tried using a few kinds of very light gray as color separation on the body, but it still ended up looking boring to me, and too much light gray just makes it look dirty. Hence, all the changes I made with mine. All the added gold makes it a lot more dynamic. Since the light gray makes it look dirty, I just use a lot of different metallic paints to do the color separations. I mean, there is a lot of different ones. Gunmetal, iron, dark, steel, silver, on white or black, base coat, etc. The differences might be pretty hard to distinguish on YouTube, but I did use a lot of different paints to do the color separations, just for the metallic ones. Deep metal paint gives it clear visual layers that won't have that feeling of dirtiness. I also did a lot of masking and was trying to use some light gray as color separations, but I did the gray way too light on the arms. You can't even tell at all, so a lot of masking kind of wasted. Afterward, I did a much deeper gray on the legs and they look nice. I am quite happy with the body color separation here. I used food dehydrator to dry up the paint. Lacquer paints do dry up fairly fast when comparing to acrylic or enamel, but if you have multiple thick layers of paint on one part, it still takes quite some time to become fully dry and stable. I wanted to do something different with the base. The third-party decals I bought for this kit has this wing-like logo, but just applying that to the base is not fun. So I came up with this brilliant idea of using it as a pre-cut masking tape. Did not sound half bad for me at that time. Slide decals are very fragile. I always accidentally rub some of them off even after applying flat coat. So I thought, yeah, this is gonna work. Just do the usual painting and take off the decal. Easy. Went all exciting painting the gold and gray onto the base, then it did not work at all. For some reason, this slide decal is very sticky, stuck onto the paint like no other decals I have seen before. In order to get it off, I had to use my fingernails to peel it off little by little. Okay, time consuming to deal with, but if it looks nice after taking out, I am still fine with this result. But it looks horrible. The back glue of that decal stuck onto the base as well. It feels like they merged together or something. I was like, alright, this is not looking good. What can I do to fix it up? Alcohol wipe. That is what I came up with. Maybe that can help me get rid of this glue. Well, it did. Not only with wiping out the leftover glue, but also wiping out my gold paint. To be honest, I was not okay at all. It's fine, it's fine. I told myself so. I just need to paint that area again. There is some dots looking weird on the other wing, so I will just paint them both. After masking them and painting, the color difference of the repainted gold and the other gold is way too obvious. I can't even use this horrible gold anymore with the masking. Fortunately, I bought 2 sheets of decals, so I have another pair of these wings. Maybe I can paint the decals, then applying that decal onto the ruined masking area. If you ask me, why don't you just mask the whole wings and paint them all? Well, because I was way too exhausted to mask that big of an irregular shape. Remember, there is no final line for me to cut the masking tape. So there I was painting the decals. After painting, I found out that lacquer paint is really tough. The whole surface got the paint and this paint holds onto the decal strong. I had to use toothpick to separate them apart. As you can see here, not clean nor neat, but at least it looks like gold now, instead of that glue sticking thing before. So I'm happy with that. This was not the only mishap I had to deal with. After all these messes, I was painting the seam on the base and accidentally pushed too hard and got a bunch of paint there. Had to wipe them, mask again, paint again. Just as I was taking out the masking tape, some decals stuck onto the tape and I had to reapply those decals again. I am not even going to talk through all the details here. You may find this surprising, but painting gunpla is all about making stupid mistakes and fixing them. Or if you feel like too exhausted and tired, giving up on a build is also very common. Throughout the thousands of hours in this hobby, I spent hundreds of hours making mistakes and trying to fix them up. And that's fine. I'm a slow learner, but spent that many hours on mistakes can get me better than a lot of the gifted. Every time I see people quit gunpla just because they find themselves doing worse builds than others, I just feel, it's such a pity. Hey, if you have some problems, want to learn something that I do in my videos, ask me, leave up a comment. I will see them and I will try my best to help you out with that. If there is a common question that is frequently asked in the community, I will make a tutorial or a video explaining it. And if you want to improve your gunpla building skills and painting skills, join my Discord server, link in the description. Ask me any questions there. Making video takes time and I might not be able to make a video about every gunpla problem, but at least I can give you advice and showing my ways of doing stuff in the Discord server. Feel free to give me suggestions on future videos. Hope you enjoyed this video and did not find my build too ugly. That's about it. See you all next time. Peace.